second rounders. Anthony Davis, of course, was the centerpiece of the return in the controversial Luka Doncic trade that just had its one-year anniversary a couple of days ago. So in the end, he appears in just 29 games for the Mavericks due to a variety of injuries. And we're able to now show you the full return for Luka Doncic. The trade is now kind of official. The Mavericks end up with 5 players and 6 picks, including 3 first-round draft picks. So, Jay, people will wake up this morning and they will say, wow, the Dallas got absolutely nothing out of Anthony Davis. Does the trade look even worse than before?
Well, on paper, it looks horrible, but thank God we don't live our lives on the surface here, Greeny. You just got to do some research on it. So right now, look, you got to be able to compartmentalize those two things, right? Luka trade was one thing, and there's a whole story on the Luka trade with a guy like Nico Harrison. This is a separate situation, and if you're not in a situation where you're going to win now, with a guy like Anthony Davis has played 29 games in 2 years, 83 games overall, you get the most assets in return to build around a generational asset in Cooper Flag. That's what the Spurs are doing right now. They're saying, hey, we're buying into the next level. Cooper Flag can carry the flag for our team moving into the future. Now we're focused on building around him with young assets. I like the move of trading Anthony Davis.
Windy, Cooper Flag.
Okay, first off, this trade is much worse than you've just said it out because it's a salary dump. You say 2 first-round picks. One of the picks is this year's Oklahoma City pick. That's going to be 29 or 30. The other one is top 20 protected. The pick that they got for Luka last year was, not in the lottery. These are not quality picks. This deal was done by Dallas to save money, and it's an indication of how far Anthony Davis's value has dropped because of his injury issues. But in all honesty, the Luka trade, and I know that the Mavericks fans are in their feelings about it and will be forever, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It's an interesting thing to talk about, but the reason it's irrelevant is Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag very well might end up being a better player than Luka Doncic. And, I mean, it's still early, but this, not only that, I don't know if we've been so focused on the trade deadline. Cooper Flag just had his best week of the season and is putting up jaw-dropping performances night after night, and the Mavericks are doing the exact correct thing, which is to clear out their bloated cap. They saved tens of millions of dollars in this. They cleared out players that they can now add to around Cooper Flag, and frankly, they should lose every game the rest of the season because Dallas doesn't control their draft after this year. So now they're going to have their pick, try to get it as high as possible, use the 30th pick in the draft, which whatever. I don't know what you're going to get with it, and wait for Cooper Flag to develop into what I think is going to be a generational player.
Greeny, I'm just going to say this, okay, and take it with a grain of salt. I've known Nico Harrison since I've been 17 years old. I am not advocating the fact that he traded Luka Doncic. But, Nico's been around Kobe Bryant for most of his life. There are attributes and qualities that Nico saw on a day-to-day basis that led me to believe that he didn't think Luka was the right person to lead this team. I am going to tell you, from knowing Cooper Flag and watching him, I guarantee you he shows up early every day. He stays late every day. There's a different kind of workman-like mentality as a leader, and having Kyrie Irving alongside of him, teaching him, it feels like that franchise is in better hands moving forward. That's just my opinion. It may be wrong. That's just how I feel.
Okay. It's certainly an interesting way of looking at it. Again, you can compartmentalize the two. One wrong doesn't make another right, or whatever I'm trying to say there. Let me finish up, Windy, for the hour with you with this. What else are we watching today? We talked about Giannis. We'll see if anything happens there. What else do you have an eye on as we work our way towards the deadline?
Yeah, so keeping in mind what Anthony Davis went for, now I want to look to Ja Morant, the other sort of star player who is on the market. And frankly, there just hasn't been a market for him. When I talk to NBA players about this, they cannot believe it. They cannot believe that nobody wants Ja Morant because the guy is such an incredible talent. The issue is not just the baggage, Greeny, it is the contract. I think if he had 1 year left on his contract, teams would take this risk and buy low. Because it's 2 years, they just haven't gotten a deal. If there's going to be a team that does it today, I would watch the Sacramento Kings. They can dump some salary in this type of deal, but I think Ja's going to stay put. The other player I want to point out, and this is not going to be a blockbuster, but when the Clippers traded James Harden, they started getting serious taking bids on Ivica Zubac. Zubac is one of the best defensive centers in the league. If you'd have told me this guy would have been on the market 2 months ago, I would have said, stop talking to me. This is a player who can really help a competitive team. He may not go to a competitive team. He may go to a team that's rebuilding, but I suspect he's going to go for multiple draft picks. If he gets traded today, he is going to get traded for more than Anthony Davis got traded for. And he's going to get traded for more than Ja Morant would have been traded for. And that's just sort of the state of the league right now.
Brian Windhorst, always with the very latest. Good man. We'll check back with you as we continue. In the meantime, I need to flash back to something that happened yesterday on this show because I'm hoping that Jay Williams is going to be on my side on this. All right, so we had the news that Lindsey Vonn plans to compete in the Olympics with a ruptured ACL. I put together a green list of the gutsiest performances in championship history, and this is how that went. Right off the top, show me Michael Jordan's flu game. Jeff Saturday, don't you dare speak blasphemy about Michael Jordan scoring 38 of the Bulls' 90 points in a 2-point win in the NBA Finals with massive food poisoning.
This is so dirty that you do this to me because obviously Jordan is a Tar Heel and one of my favorites, and I love him. How are you going to compare a dude who's sick, who's got a little tummy ache, to an ACL being ruptured and the girl going down a mountain at 70 miles an hour, bro?
Jeff, a dude that needs an IV.
Yeah,
he's dehydrated.
He's going to get dehydrated, and he's comparing
Michael, if you're up watching at the Grove this morning, I apologize for these jokers over here. I heard about this all day yesterday. We were blaspheming the flu game. It's the most famous game, one of the most famous games in sports history. These jokers over here are the flu game.
Jeff, it's the flu, cigar, and scotch game. Let's make sure we provide context, okay?
Hey, you just threw in Grove 23. You know what flu game it is.
He said gutsiest. I thought I was going to lose my mind, dude. I thought I was going to lose. He's literally talking about a woman,
so sorry,
41-year-old woman with no ligaments attached to her leg to a dude getting it out.
Jay, we was like, you just needed an IV. You just needed an IV.
Harry, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry, Greedy. I am no longer Corbett, Harry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Until the end of time, when someone is not feeling at their best and they perform well, they will say, today was my flu game. Everyone says it. It is synonymous.
Everyone who wasn't a player who knows what the real game was.
Thank you. That's what I said. I said the reason he could relate because he gets a little sick, he fights through it to come to work, not go play.
What kind of performance did Greedy say it was?
Gutsiest performance ever. Top 5.
Lindsey out there with no ACL, nothing attached.
100 miles an hour down the hill. No. He had to fight through that flu.
I'm so sorry. Usually I'm on your side.
I am distancing myself from this figuratively and now literally. I'm just walking away. I'm just not having this. We will not blaspheme. There will be no flu game blasphemy.
Complete knee dislocation going 1,000 miles an hour.
Flu game. Sitting over here. Sitting over here with Hembo. That's it.
Sitting up there with everybody who agrees with him.
Coming up, we'll do something else that makes sense.